Hello everybody and welcome to another photography talk, and this time just a little video to honor the postcards and postcard photography. Looking at my statistics, I'm pretty sure that most of you have used postcards, and I want to just honor the postcards. Looking around on social media, I was noticing something that is very curious, and it's the fact that there are a lot of groups that organization or privates that created pages dedicated to what is old postcards and the history of the places and all these kind of things. And by the way, one is Campi Fotografie in Italian. It's for an area in the Abruzzo. He's doing a fantastic job, and I was looking around this. He started looking at Campi Fotografie and sharing some of the old postcards that he posts. I noticed something that is really fun, is that all the people and group that shares postcards, they have a lot of views. Really, there's a lot of people following, there's a lot of people sharing, there are a lot of people commenting and all these kind of things. But in reality, postcards are dead. We live in an era where postcards don't exist anymore. Nobody buy a postcard, put a stamp and send it to the friends when he's on vacation, or just simply to say something. We have communication with the smartphone. People go around, take the pictures, usually a selfie because you must be included in the photograph, and just send the post on social media, send to the friends and all this kind of thing. So the postcard is basically dead. And when the postcard was not dead, I don't know in the rest of the world, but we in Italy, we were used to diminish photographers that were postcard photographers. We use the term postcard photographer as a snapshot photographer, or something that someone that is not taking care too much about what he does, with no artistic side. Looking at the postcards now, the historic postcards, it's real. There was not an artistic intent usually creating the postcards, but it was made the postcard great to look now. So because it's just a documentaristic postcard. The artistic postcards, and I have some example here, is just just a landscape or something like that. This is from Cagliari, Sardinia. Again, something, and this was already an artistic postcard because the format was very strange. But if you go with the normal postcards, have something here from Imperia, and this is pretty old. If you look at Imperia right now, it's totally different. This a very ugly aerial picture of a place, and by the way, it's Forte dei Marmi. It is very famous and touristic, and right now you don't see any green part here. Is all built up and all touristic. So this was the fact, but the fact is the beauty of the postcards, and that they did not have an artistic pretense. If you look at a little bit more modern postcards, like this one that was from the Como Lake, Maggiore, the Lago Maggiore. If you look at this one, an artistic pretense, it's beautiful, but you look at it now and you think, okay, it's a detail that who cares about it? Where is the interest? Because you don't see a lot of information. Something ugly like this, you have a lot of information here, and a lot of ways to use this postcard to compare to the reality right now. So that was fantastic. By the way, something that I love about postcards, this one that is from Lorenzo Monferrato, I don't know where he is, but some friend of my, in this case my grandmother, because it's addressed to my grandmother, so some friends probably went to live here because there's a little arrow here that shows where they went, shows something. So the postcard had a news. The postcard showed exactly as the place was. By the way, something a little bit more artistic, and this is not probably politically correct to show, because this was curiosity from Africa, and this was at the time of the colonies, the Italian colonies, and this was sent to my father when he was a young student, who was in 41, so before the end of the end of the war, and probably was sent by someone that was in the went to the colonies and saw these things in real time. So the greatness of the postcards is, first of all, they showed a reality without artistic pretense. This is just a view of Turin, and they show a reality as it was, and they have other things that are fantastic. First of all, there's always something that describes a caption that tells you where is the postcard taken, and can be on the front, can be on the back, but you find one of these and you know exactly where it was taken. You know the date usually, at least approximately, because you know the date when it was shipped, and the fact that there's always something that tells you what the place is fun for another reason. For example, this one is of Turin, and this is one of the Palazzo Madama and the Littoria Tower. The Littoria Tower was the fascist tower built during the fascism and was with an original name. Now I don't know the name what is, but every connection to the original builders is disappeared from the name. So it's something that is interesting because the postcard showed a reality and showed a reality in a specific time. So that is absolutely fantastic. And another thing that I love of postcards and postcard photography is just that they are natural. There's no you look at this is the town where I live, and by the way, it was not shipped, it was just bought to keep it in case if you had to communicate something and send a note to someone. And this is just a picture that shows the place, no artistic intent, no things like that, just a picture that shows, no elaboration, no embellishment of the reality. It's just something that you were able to see a place exactly as it was. So you received the postcard from someone going to vacation somewhere, and you were okay. I can see it. I can see how it is. And for example, you watch this and you feel okay. The beach, you had the information. It's ugly. It's an ugly postcard, but you had the information that the beach was pretty large. There was a nice walk, and the road was big, and you had an idea of the crowd on the beach and everything else. All the data that you needed if you decided also to go on vacation there. And so that's something that is kind of interesting here with all the people in there. And it was Albenga, is a city in Liguria here. And by the way, yes, it was ugly at the time and still ugly now. Something fun. They always find fun. The composite postcard with all the pictures that show you different places. This is from the Valvaraita up here in the mountain. Also, this one is not. It was not shipped. It was just bought and put there, just take as a souvenir or in case you need it. And this is a very, very small town up to a valley. Another thing that is fantastic of postcards, that you could see postcards in every small town, in every place. And I have some postcards that my father after World War II, he did a trip with a friend and the Vespa motorbike. By the way, there's a video here with the photograph and the things I talk about the trip. And I have the postcards from different places where they go during the trip. I have all the postcards, and the fantastic thing is that with the postcards I have the location and the date where they were there. When I found the photographs of the trip, I had all the photographs, but it was almost impossible to tell exactly the year, first of all, and was almost impossible for many photographs to tell where they were taken. So they did a long trip around all the mountain passes in Italy. They followed the Giro d'Italia bike competition, but they just did the same road, and so I knew that they were on the mountain passes and these kind of things. But it was not easy from the images and the negative I had to understand where they were. with the postcards. I put the postcards together with the pictures, and I was able to see exactly the places and the days, and so to create a kind of a complete story of the trip. So that's another fantastic thing. And I want to end with another thing that is pretty nice and impressive. And these are postcards that I have, and with the original card around. And all these postcards, plus a lot of these too, that were postcards sent from the front, World War One. And the nice thing of these postcards is that my grandfather, he sent the postcard home, and he was able to keep the postcard that was sent from home to him. So there's postcards in both ways. Absolutely, you can see what it said, the answer, and so on. And it's fun. There are some here that have the stamp that is pulled out because they used to write below the stamp to bypass the censorship and all this kind of things. So it's kind of a nice love story back and forth. We now don't have postcards. We don't have postcard photography. Okay, something else that we can use to survive as photographers. But the thing is, we are not preserving history, because yes, we will have a ton and ton of images, all digital, and all will be in some central archive that anybody can modify. If you think the Ministry of Truth in 1984 by Orwell, they were changing the past. And right now, if the archive is only digital and is centralized with all the artificial intelligence tools, it will be absolutely easy to have the Minister of Truth and to modify the past and all these kind of things. The nicer of the paper postcards that we received, these are something that you had at home. So it was something real and something concrete that remained in your hands. And if you look around in the archive of postcards, it's fantastic, because really there's a documentation of everything, of every little corner of the world. And this documentation is something that you can access physically. Usually in every home there's a box or a drawer where there are a lot of postcards. And you can see stories, you can see people, you can remember people. Every postcard that I turn around here is someone that probably I know. This not because for my parents, but yeah, Saluti Giampiero, and this one is another by Piero that I don't know who he was, but every postcard that you turn around, this was my mother that wrote to my father. So in 1960, my mother was in Turin for some reason and wrote a postcard to my father, simply saying hello. So that's something that is it's interesting, the story. And sometimes there were the postcards were used to communicate a lot of things. You look at these and there's a lot communicated here. So it's a story. The postcards, as everything, was made to last, was made to tell a complete story, and was made to be enjoyed in a slow way, included by someone probably at this one has a date, it's 41, and I'm enjoying it right now. So a little less than a century is still something that it lasted that time. By the way, talking of lasting photographs, check out my novel Lasting Photographs. If you like this idea of images surviving history and creating a story and find the story that the image contained, get the book. It's a nice novel. It's short, so you don't have to spend much time reading it. It's very quick to read, and it got very good reviews from the people that read it. So check out the book and you will love it. You will love this idea of the photographs that remain and generate in history. In the case, it's not postcard, it's photographs, and there are some postcards involved, but it's the same concept that I'm telling you here. And as I was saying, the postcards were made to last. It was something that at the beginning people received them and kept them, because it was probably the only way to see some remote places. This one from, for example, from the African colonies, nobody had an idea of how was the life in the colonies, and what was the landscape and all these kind of things. Almost no people ever traveled from Italy to North Africa and all these kind of things. So it was something that was connecting. There was no television. There was, yes, some books on the radio, but the postcard was a great way to communicate how a place was. So people kept them. And when a postcard was created, the idea was to do something that was kind of documentaristic and lasting forever. In the smartphone era, you go in a place, you take the selfies, some pictures around, you share them, you send them, and they are lost and forgotten. Perhaps if you are very organized, you will keep your images some way, you will save your images in a way so you can access them in the future, but the people that receive the images, that saw the images, they just trash it. You scroll them and you think, okay, Johnny was in Armenia, oh nice, and oh nice Armenia, and gone. It's finished. There's no story that remains. There's no communication to remain. So my idea is to just honor postcards, and when you go around, take some postcard pictures that you don't have to be artistic, you don't have to be special, just any place, just take a picture. In years, that will get a lot of value. And take this kind of pictures with the idea to keep them, print them, put them in a drawer or something like that. And by the way, if you are somewhere, think to look if there are still postcards for sale, and some places you can still find them. And get a stamp and send a postcard to someone. By the way, commercially, when I do postcards, a lot of time I just print postcards and send the postcards to the clients. And in this moment, is one of the best way to communicate with the clients, because nobody expects a postcard. So if something arrived that is nice, they look at it. If something arrived in email, it's just trash. So this is just to honor the postcards, to honor the image that lasts, and to honor this beautiful feeling that I have when I find something like the postcards around. I have a huge box filled up with postcards, something like this. This is something that is absolutely magnificent, because from these postcards I reconstructed all the activity of my father, my grandfather in World War I. My grandfather died before when I was very young, and so I have no direct memory of it telling and these kind of things. But from these postcards, I was able to understand the battalion he was in. He was in the Bersaglieri, so it's kind of a special corps here, and I rebuilt all the places he went to during World War I and these kind of things. So I created a story, an absolute story from here. And I know when he was hurt by a fragment of bomb and all these kind of things. And I have the dates and I have the places, and it's a beautiful story. So we have to honor this kind of past, and I think that when we use our smartphone to just take a snapshot on these stupid things that we do every moment, and we do thousands of pictures if we go in any place, something, just think to do something different. Think to take one photograph that come out that you like it, describe the place, print it in 20 copies, put the address and send it to your friends. That will create something that will last for years, and it's something that will be enjoyed for years. So, just my honor to postcards and postcard photography, and you don't have to be an artist to do that. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about these things, because I'm always curious to hear the comments from you. So let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.